All right, so we're trying something different today. I am coming to you from a local park. I'm hoping eventually to do some readings in the park for one-to-one sessions with people who are local, but we will see how that goes. For today, we're going to do hopefully a general reading. No, there are two squirrels chasing each other around the trees. A general reading, no time limit, so just whatever comes. And then maybe some of the mini reads that I choose just intuitively what day to put them up, but we will see. I did find an oracle deck that I created. I haven't laminated all of the cards. I had been looking for it and finally found it, so we will use that. We're going to start out with the Crow Tarot by MJ Cullinane. And you can't see it because of the way I'm set up right now, so you can see the cards. We've got some people call it Phoenix Stone, some people call it 111 on the clock, Quattro Quattro. I may have said that wrong. My brain notices everybody and everything. We've got some lapis lazuli. And then I'm not sure what this little thing is, but it ended up being in my bag by surprise. I don't know when I put it in there, if I put it in there, but I'll look it up and try to do like an overlay because it wanted to be here today, and we'll see what that's about. I don't think it's carnelian just because of the pattern. I know there's some things that are labeled like flower agate or something, so we will see. I do have some carnelian on my necklace and in my earrings though. Can't talk, so we'll go ahead and get ready for the reading. So I will go ahead and shuffle at least a couple of times. Like I said, we're starting with the Crow Tarot. I may have scared the lady off, or she may be done with her walking. I'm not sure which. All right, let's ground, which is a good thing to do, especially outside. Not as warm as I'd like it to be, and it was sunny earlier, but not now. Ooh, King of Swords. All right, so this is what we're starting out with. I'm being told draw some more cards before coming to a conclusion, so that is what we're going to do. All right, so Page of Swords. We got the King of Swords, Page of Swords, and then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, and I'm being called to my oracle deck, and I'm putting those in different places because of course I'm outside, so that means that animals, birds have defiled the table. Nope, I guess those are supposed to be. So we've got Judgment, Present, which makes sense with that Ace of Pentacles, Protect, I feel like that's coming in here, and Mischievous. So I feel like that's going to be in with both of these. So that was the initial impression that I was thinking with the King of Swords. Is this just 333 on the clock, overthinking, like feeling like you have to be on guard, which the Page of Swords coming in gave me that feeling as well. Then having Judgment, Protect, and Mischievous. With the King of Swords, it's like your character is being attacked, or you feel like your character is being attacked. And so that's put you back into this overthinking stage. Like whatever it was that you felt confident within your thoughts, your actions, how people view you, your communication, things like that. This judgment, this need of feeling like you need to protect yourself, and the mischievousness, whether it's happening or not, it feels like it probably is. People are talking about you, but that's coming from their own inner child defense mechanisms, and I feel like this is you feeling attacked. With the Page of Swords, it's that feeling attacked, so it feels like a step backwards instead of a step forward. That doesn't mean that you're not moving forward, because the thing I'm seeing when I say that is this King of Swords has the feathers hanging here, and I'm seeing that as kind of like almost like the Ten of Wands, where it's like the things that have happened, the attacks that have happened, the things that you've survived. This is like that plaque on the wall is what I'm seeing, like that achievement, like the things that you've gotten through and you've accomplished. Whereas this is putting you back in an energy where it feels like you're having to fight through those battles. And I feel like you had gotten to a point where you didn't feel like you had to do that anymore. So with this Ace of Pentacles, you can see that there's clouds over here. There's even a cloud coming in here, but we've got this spring new growth down here. We have the daffodils. We have the peony is not it. And it's wanting, that's the word that's wanting to come into my mind. And maybe that's because spring is, we're on the verge of it. We're not there yet, but we're close. Poppies. I knew it was a P word. We have the poppies over here and the daffodils over here. So the grounded poppies, some of that is also bringing in, and I haven't read it this way before, but that memory, like when I think of poppies, and I'm at a veterans park right now, so that's probably why that's coming into my head, because there was the red flag lest we forget with the poppy on it, or white with the red poppy. So it's recognizing that just like having these feathers hanging here, I said that feels like an honor or a validation of what you've been through. These poppies are making me feel like that for you, those things that you've been through, it's coming back up into your memory, and it's triggering with this yellow, like I'm looking at solar plexus chakra. It's triggering some of those anxieties. Like I said, it's triggering some of those feelings from the past. But understand that I'm feeling like this says present and I put a gift on it, but I feel like it's focusing on the present as a gift. Like you have survived through those things, and because you have, you are where you are now. Like that Ace of Pentacles, you earned that badge. That's what I'm hearing. You earned that badge, you earned that medal. You did the things that you needed to do to survive, and just recognizing that you're not in that energy anymore. Let's go back to the tarot for a second. So what's gotten you into that mode where you feel like you're being judged and that you have to defend yourself again? What's causing that defensive energy? And if nothing comes out with this one, I do have a neon inspired neon tarot that's catching my eye. I forgot I'd brought it. All right, so we'll go to that one. Because I just feel very guarded right now. And I feel like you had been, or you felt like you'd been able to, I'm hearing, finally start trusting. And then this. So what is this? What is it that has you feeling like you can't trust? I have to pull my sleeves down because it is cold out here. It is cold. I think it's like 61 degrees, but I'm not a good temperature regulator and I get cold really easy. What's gotten you feeling like you're needing to defend yourself? All right, so we've got the King of Wands. So looking at this, we've got this very fiery energy, and this King of Wands card, the king has a scar across their face, so they've definitely been through the battle. On this right here, it almost looks like there's an eye, so I feel like that's talking about the emotional imprint or trauma response, where it's like I have to be hyper vigilant, I have to be watching everything. But at the same time, with the King of Wands, it's wanting to lean into your passions, or that your passions manifest the things that you want. I'm getting a energy of I've already proven myself, and like his legs are crossed, like he's closed off even though his arms are open. He's making sure that he or she, they are making sure that they are not fully caught off guard. Open posture on top, but legs are crossed. So just know you're not getting full access. That's the energy that I'm getting here. And it almost looks like the King of Wands is in this cave. It's a very cave-like image. So I feel like this is pushing you, instead of that confidence coming through, that fiery, passionate energy coming through. This is the King of Wands. Yes, I know that this is who I am. I know this is the energy that I hold, but access is limited. This is a pulling back. Like, I'm still here and present, and I will show you who I am, and I don't want to have to step up and necessarily prove it to you, but I will if necessary. Like, I'm seeing it as this person is not totally passive in the situation. Even if at times in the past it's felt like they may have been a bit more passive, they're not now. There's something going on with the object on their right where it looks like it's wrapped around the arm, and what I'm hearing is like part of you. Like in this in this arm there's a staff that is held, but this one it's like it's a part of you. Like, it's, I had to use this was my survival, and now it's just a part of me. That's the way it's coming through. And so the next card is the Death card, and I feel it like with that it's saying that the things that happened in the past, they've happened in the past, and yes, they've been triggered recently, and you're feeling like you have to be defensive, but in order to move forward and be present in the moment and feel like you are bringing in that Ace of Pentacles energy, where it doesn't have to feel like you're working or having to work so hard to feel abundant, to feel joy, to feel peace, to feel stability. There we go. It's having to let go of some of those things in the past, because it's totally possible that there's judgment and mischievous energy that's going around, and people are going to talk, and you've had people talk about you before, and some people may believe, but if they do and they haven't come to you and talked to you about it first, that's on them. But some people aren't going to believe because they know your character. Goodness gracious, I didn't realize this many cards had come out. Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. So with her, she is just in her element. She is completely allowing herself to just be in nature, to be calm, at peace, to not let anything that's going on around her upset her. Look at the difference between the King of Wands and the energy there versus this Nine of Pentacles. Like, this is very guarded, even though it's like, I'm here, but it's guarded. Where she's just like, I'm here, and she's calm. The Ten of Cups, like, goodness, are you kidding me? Like, you, with the Ten of Cups, you've created all the things that you've had. Yes, you've worked for it. Like with this Eight of Pentacles card, you have worked for these things. But you've created a life that you may not have everything that you want, but it's not a bad life, what you've created now. We can't focus on the past because what's happened in the past has already happened. But what you do now in the present and what you are focusing on for your future, like, notice that glow that's coming down. That, I'm hearing source energy, that creation, and you're a co-creator with that. And we know that because with this Eight of Pentacles, you've put in the work, but it's being able to feel, look at how he almost looks exhausted and discontented is the way I'm seeing him. And so it's understanding that it's been a lot of hard work. There's been a lot of things that felt like battles, but at the same time, you did hold your integrity. You did work honestly. And because you did, there are some people who may not believe it. And when other people want to talk crap, they're going to believe that. But you hold your integrity and your honor, and that shows through. That's the real deal. Anyone that talks about you, they need to look at themselves. With the King of Cups, it's getting those emotions in a calmer space, getting them into an alignment. Just trying to look and see what I see. Like, he's got a crystal city behind him. I love that. He's just relaxed. Like, he's not bothered by anything that's going on around him. Just like when I was talking about the Nine of Pentacles. He's not bothered by anything that's going on around him. My hands are so cold. And we've got, again, this energy of the light and the dark, but I want to show you this. So in this King of Wands card, the light is illuminating the king. In this King of Cups card, the light is there. Like he has light around him, but it's not, this is more of a prove me energy. This is more of a, well, kind of like the Nine of Pentacles. It's more of a, I'm here, I know who I am. Yeah, I'm human, I'm going to have emotions, but at the same time, I'm not going to let you affect me to the point that I feel like I need to act quickly, that I need to battle, because you've already done that. That's in the past with that Death card. That's in the past. You've already done that. You've already, like I said, proven your honor, worth, integrity, and the way that you built your life. So this King of Cups, I feel like, is calling you to say, I am who I am, and if there are things that I want to change, cool, I'll do that. But if not, it's okay for me to just at 16:16 on the clock just exist. We've got the Six of Wands. So you've already been successful. And the way this person is coming in, it looks very much so like a warrior. Notice the leaves on the wands, like you've grown through the things that have happened. And there may be people, like with these wands down here, there may be people who don't like that because they have their own insecurities and vulnerabilities. And so they may not give you the recognition that you deserve. They may not say the things that you feel like are true about you. Sometimes when people are talking crap behind your back, it's because they are not confident within themselves. They don't believe that they deserve to celebrate, so why should you? And this again has that same lit up from behind energy, and I feel like this is saying you never felt like you needed for people to like call you out and honor who you are because you know who you are, but at the same time those things from the past are just triggering it. Yeah, Queen of Swords, like putting you in your head where you're wanting to not feel you're wanting to not think about it. Like, why am I back in this energy where I'm overthinking it and feeling like I've got to protect myself? So you're being called to focus on the things that you know to be true and allow yourself to calm those thoughts, to be very clear. And if you communicate it, to communicate in a way that is balanced is what I'm hearing, but it's more than that. It's like communicating in a way where you're not challenging the judgments and things that you feel like are going on, and that's it. You're living your life still showing your integrity of who you are. And so allowing yourself to, when you communicate, you're not communicating necessarily about the thoughts that you have, suspicions or whatever of this mischievous energy and things like that. You're allowing yourself to just here and just live. I wanted more than that, but that's what I'm getting. So I'm getting the nudge to move on. And with the Queen of Swords, like when I talk about that illumination, like with her, she is illuminated. Nothing else is. She is illuminated. And her legs are just side by side. They're not crossed. Her arms are open. So she's sitting to the side though. So she's not fully just open, vulnerable, things like that. And she is thinking logically and through strategy and things, but she's not overthinking it. It's dealing with what's happening in the present moment and not things that we think are happening. Feeling called back to my Oracle deck. So let's see what else we need. This is felt, I always say this, it feels a little disjointed, and then it feels like it, when I watch it back, it's not as disjointed as it feels. And I think I've said before, maybe it's just because I've got so many things that come in, whether it's something I see on the card or what I'm hearing, seeing, feeling, because things come to me through all the senses. All right, so we've already been through the what and the why. Where does collective's attention need to be? Where does whoever this message is for need to focus their attention? What do they need to pay attention to? Clear sight. Your intuition is on point. So you may already know that things are happening. And sometimes we may misread it because we're being triggered with those past situations. But this clear sight, I feel like, is kind of linked to this Queen of Swords, which was our last card from the tarot. That you know your intuition's on point. You know who you are. You know the integrity, which is where what I was saying with the Ten of Cups. And I know I don't have to like show you all of these, but it just visual, I like it. But like, you know who you are. You're clear-sighted. You don't have to defend yourself to anyone. You don't have to defend yourself to anyone. Anything else. Let's see. All right, so we've got love that has come out. Again, that, and I'll put those to the side because they did come a little bit out of the deck. With the Ten of Cups, like, that love of others around you and the people who love you, that's what the focus should be on. Not the people who are, even if it felt like they were people who loved you, not the people who are going around and judging you and possibly saying things that aren't true. Woo! Little bug. Yeah, release and balance. So it's about releasing the things from the past and finding that balance, because you've done it before. And since you've done it before, you definitely can do it again. But we can't focus on what everyone else is saying because it doesn't matter. You know who you are. We got conflict on the bottom of the deck. My husband. We decided to come out to the park together. And you've also got focused. So get focused and know, yes, you are a leader. And sometimes that makes it hard because when you are someone who, you are intelligent, you are clear-sighted, you do try to be balanced and to try to stay out of this conflict. But as a leader, sometimes you're going to be pulled into conflict whether you want to or not. 22:33 on the clock. People are going to sometimes be intimidated by you, even if you're not intimidating. And so this is a very messy setup. And so it's getting out of that feeling of judgment. All right, so I've got 3 other decks and I feel like we're coming to the conclusion. So got Angels and Auras, Oracle, Intuitive Whispers, and Crystal Wisdom cards. Maude Hurst, Intuitive Whispers, keeps standing out to me, so we will use that. So even with what it says in the top of the box, you are wiser and more brilliant than you know. Be still, take a breath and listen. Your intuitive whispers are guiding you. And that's what I was saying with this clear sight card, wherever it went. I think it's right there. You have the intuition, you have the experience. All of us have intuition. It is part of our survival skills. You would hear me say that all the time. But what is the intuitive guidance for you to close out this reading? So whoever this reading is for, well, we'll go ahead and take that as one, even though it just kind of fell. And then I'll pull another. What is the intuitive guidance? Maybe that was the card. All right. All right. So we have 34, which breaks down to a 7, the magic of nothingness. And I feel like that, again, going with that clear sight, is that you do not have to do anything different. The biggest thing is that you don't have to respond. Ooh, this lighting is horrible. And I'm 46. You don't have to necessarily respond. You can just sit in your magic. Like, look at what you've created already with your magic. You don't have to respond. People will see the light. Even though there's not, it's almost looking like an angel. Like, you're divinely guided. You're following what you need to follow, and what other people think and say is I'm hearing none of your business. 25, which is also a 7. So we've got 7, 7. And we also have these like glowing orb-like structures. Intuitive journaling. And we've got an owl right here with this beam of light coming out of its head. Owls being very wise. And it's like there's almost like a bubble of protection around her. So whether you go out into nature, whether you journal by writing or creating an art piece, or even recording a video, whether you show it to anyone or not, I feel like it's really important for you to get your thoughts out, but in a space that is just for you, not something where you necessarily are feeling like you're having to prove yourself or anything. It's just you reconnecting with yourself, kind of like the Valentine's Day reading, return to self. It's like returning home, but home is you, that you are returning to who you are. You already know who you are, and you don't need validation from outside or confirmation. It's just you being able to focus on what it is that you know makes up who you are, and what it is that you want and need, regardless of what other people say. I think that's the whole reading right there. So I hope that it was helpful. I did not remember, because I'm in a different setting and things sometimes throw me off, but I do private readings. If you would like to book a session, please feel free to contact me or look at the website. But thank you so much for even watching the videos, for liking, sharing, subscribing, sharing the message so it gets to who needs it. And for you in this situation, I wish you peace, and I hope that you are able to just kind of recognize that you don't have to defend yourself. And look, we have 8 of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles. You put in the work and you're already where you wanted to be. Maybe you don't feel that way with what's around you, and that's why it's important to do that intuitive journaling, to focus on the things that you have created, that gratitude for the things that you do have, and recognizing abundance even in the things that may feel small. So my gratitude, and definitely the abundance, is the fact that I do have people who listen to these messages and that they feel like they do connect with them, and I am incredibly grateful to you for that. So thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you next reading, next zodiac reading, next short reading, whenever.